Hello and welcome to this tips and techniques video from Master Your Photography. In this series we've carefully crafted a collection of short videos designed to provide you with key points on specific topics without any of the unnecessary waffle. Our goal is to give you practical information that you can immediately apply to your own photography. We understand that your time is precious, so we've condensed each video to deliver concise, actionable information. With our tips and techniques series, you'll gain the knowledge and the confidence to improve your photography in no time at all. So that's probably enough waffle, let's get started. This video is all about tripods and why I think you should consider using one. Now, there are lots of benefits to using a tripod, but the main reason is usually because you want to take long exposures. You want to leave the shutter open for several seconds so that you can capture maybe a dusk scene or a night scene or even hear the northern lights. So the shutter is going to be open for anything from a few seconds to possibly even several minutes. Now, image stabilization that's built into cameras is really good, but it only really helps you up to maybe half a second at the most. Once you go past that kind of shutter range, then you really do need to be locking the camera down solidly on a tripod. Another useful benefit of a tripod is the improved precision that you're going to get in your composition and your framing and your focusing. Now, if you take a lot of architectural shots, then it's really important to make sure you've got the composition absolutely spot on. You've got the verticals vertical, the horizontals are horizontal. And having the camera locked down really helps you with this kind of work. Landscape photographers, again, if you're going to be maybe waiting for the right light, then it's really useful if you can get your camera locked down, get the composition absolutely nailed, and then wait for the light to change and give you that splash of sunlight in the right place or whatever. Much easier than trying to handhold the camera for what might turn out to be several hours of waiting. And of course, with macro photography, your focusing has to be so precise. And so again, lock down the camera on a tripod, make sure it's really nice and solid, and then you can really nail that focus. Make sure that you're getting the subject absolutely as sharp as it's possible to be. There are many creative techniques that really require the use of a tripod to be able to do them properly. Things such as HDR, that's high dynamic range images, where you're shooting multiple exposures and then combining them together in post-production to give you the best overall exposure. Focus stacking, panoramic shots, any kind of multiple exposure, and of course time-lapse photography to create little videos. All this kind of work does require a tripod. You can do some of it without, but it's always a little bit hit and miss. Whereas if you can get a really solid tripod, lock that camera down, then you're going to have a much higher success rate with this kind of creative work. So, when it comes to actually choosing a tripod, what's the most important thing that you need to know? Well, unfortunately, the most important thing you need to know is probably that there's no such thing as the perfect tripod, and chances are you are going to need more than one particular model, depending on the kind of work you do. The good news is that there are literally thousands of different tripods available, and there's one for every size and situation, from really small desktop models designed to take a small camera or even a mobile phone, right up to really heavy duty tripods that will hold a large format camera or even several cameras at the same time. Once you've decided on a size for your tripod, the next most important thing is probably deciding what kind of tripod head you would like to use on it. Quite often you will buy the tripod without a head and you purchase the head separately. Now, a ball and socket head is a really popular option, and it allows you to really be very quick in changing your composition. You turn one lever usually, and then the camera can move in all directions, turn the lever again and it locks it. So it's really quick at changing composition. A pan and tilt head, on the other hand, usually has 3 levers so that you can alter the position, the angle of the camera in 3 different planes. Much more precise, and so much more suited to a slower approach. Architectural photographers like them because you don't just release one lever and the camera's flopping about all over the place. So again, it's important to not only decide which tripod you would like, but then also which head you want to use on it. So here are some more questions that you need to be answering when you're looking for the right model. What's the weight capacity? How heavy can the camera be that it will carry? What's the weight of the tripod itself? If it's carbon fibre, it will weigh a lot less than an aluminium one, but it will cost you more. What's the maximum height that this tripod can go to? And when it is at that maximum height, how stable is it? And how do you lock the legs? Do you twist them, or is it quick release levers? Because that will make a difference if you're working outdoors and trying to do it maybe with gloves on. What about the feet? Has it just got rubber feet, or does it have spikes, which landscape photographers tend to prefer? What about the head type? Is it ball and socket? Is it pan and tilt? And does it have a quick release system? And if it does, is it compatible with the main system on the market, which is the Swiss Arca one? What about the folded size? If you're going to carry this tripod, say up a hill, then will it fold down nice and small to go in a backpack? And what about the centre column? Is it removable so that you can use it, say, as a monopod, or do the legs actually come off so that you can use those as monopods? So all these questions are important and need to be answered. Now, remember what I said, there's no such thing as the perfect tripod, but there is a tripod that will do the job that you want it to do for your kind of work. And when you're doing a different kind of work, you probably need a different tripod. Just to illustrate that point, here's our team using several of our tripods on a job, and I think at the last count we had about 10 different ones. So consider a tripod. It really can improve your photography. It can make you stop and think about what you're shooting before you press the shutter. Thank you for tuning in to Master Your Photography's Tips and Techniques series. We hope you found this video useful and practical. Remember, each photo you take is a stepping stone towards becoming a better photographer. So get out there and capture the world in your own unique way. Until next time, happy shooting.